Hi guys, Sage Topaz here. I hope everyone is having an amazing day and staying safe. And if your day is not going so well, hopefully this video can cheer you up a little bit. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about video games that should become TV series. So I started watching The Last of Us, the TV series on Max, HBO Max, whatever. And I played The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. I love The Last of Us Part 1. Hated Part 2, but I love The Last of Us Part 1. It is one of the best video games I've ever played. I mean, it was scary, it was intense, the gameplay was great, and also the storyline was amazing. Like, I mean, the character development, the dialogue, I mean, The Last of Us, I mean, the thing I love about Naughty Dog is that not only do they make great games, but they really put a lot of emphasis on storytelling. So not only with Naughty Dog games, it's like you're playing through a movie. Like Jak and Daxter had a great storyline. Uncharted has a great storyline. You know what I'm saying? So Naughty Dog, they are really, really big on story, which is why their company is like super successful, because they really place a lot of emphasis on storytelling in video games. And I love playing video games, not just for the gameplay and how fun it is, but story is a really big deal to me with video games. Like, I love video games that have complex story. I love like playing video games, and like, it's not only am I playing a video game, but it's almost kind of like I'm playing through a movie. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, The Last of Us, the storyline was incredible. And after I played The Last of Us and the TV series came out, like, years later, I was like, oh, I've already played the video game. So, I mean, is it worth watching the TV series? Because basically I already know the storyline. I know what's going to happen. And I was like, okay, let me just check it out. You know what I mean? And I'm so happy that I did, because let me tell you, the TV series is incredible. It is so good. And I think the TV series, The Last of Us, is even more fun for people who have played The Last of Us, because it makes so many references to the video game. There are certain lines in The Last of Us, the TV series, that are in the video game. So like, for instance, when Joel's daughter, like, she bought him a present for his birthday, and Joel asked, where'd you get the money to buy the watch? And she was like, I sell drugs, hardcore drugs. And she was joking. And Joel was like, oh, okay, maybe we can use the money, to pay the bills. And that line was exactly in the video game. So there are definitely a lot of lines. There was also, because Ellie is so silly, you know what I mean? Makes a lot of jokes. And then Joel called Ellie weird. He was like, you're a weird kid. That line was in the video game as well. So I was just laughing, like, how there were lines in the video game that also made it to the TV series. And yeah, it was just so cool how much they referenced the video game. I mean, they changed like certain scenes, of course. They didn't make it exactly like the video game, but they changed some certain scenes. So for instance, when the outbreak happened, in the video games, Joel's daughter does not go to the neighbor's house. She doesn't. They don't even mention any neighbors in the video game. But in the TV series, they have these neighbors, and she went to go check on them. And then when she went, and then she saw that one of the neighbors got infected. That did not happen in the video game. When they were in the car, the truck or whatever, driving through the city, and it was all like intense and everything, honestly, I felt like I was playing The Last of Us video game, because in the video game, that's exactly what happened. Like, you are in the car and you are driving through the city trying to escape. So I thought it was so cool just how they reference a lot of the video game in the TV series. Anyway, it is amazing. Like, of course, the casting is fantastic. I think Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal, they are just the perfect Joel and Ellie. Like, oh my goodness, like, they are just incredible actors, and they just brought Joel and Ellie to life. I thought that they were perfect casting. And yeah, it is a really amazing TV series. And The Last of Us, the storyline in the video game was definitely very touching. There were things that happened in the video game that I definitely cried, and I'm not going to put any spoilers, but the same sad scenes that happened in the video game happened in the TV series, and I found myself crying again. So I was like, I knew that there were certain characters that were gonna die, and I was just like, no, I already knew it was gonna happen, but it still made me upset. It still made me cry. So yes, the TV series is amazing. They were gonna make a second season, so I was like, yeah, I gotta watch the first season before the second season comes out. I'm still watching the first season. I got like maybe 5 episodes left. I think I'll be able to catch up before the second season comes out. And then Fallout is another video game that they made into a TV series. And I actually have not watched the TV series. Honestly, I actually haven't played Fallout. Like, I've heard, of course, Fallout is like, it's a very popular video game series. But for some reason, I just never got into Fallout, but I've heard how good of a game it is. It's like what's it called? RPG, sandbox kind of game. It's an adventure game. Lots of exploring. I've heard of Fallout, of course, but I just never got into it for some reason. But maybe I'll check it out. I'll buy a Fallout game and play it and check it out. But the TV series, I've heard it has gotten a lot of great reviews. Like, I've heard it's really, really good. So video games can definitely translate into TV series. And the 2 video games I was thinking would be perfect to be TV series would be actually free. I got free in mind. So the first one is Mass Effect. So Mass Effect is another video game that has a lot of emphasis on storytelling. I mean, the Mass Effect video game story is very complex. It's very engaging. And Mass Effect, like, you can pick different choices for your character, and a lot of times the choices are really difficult choices, but there's a lot of character development. And of course, with Mass Effect, there's a lot of romance. So I think that Mass Effect would be a perfect TV series because it's sci-fi. It has a lot of romance. Like, the video game really, really places a lot of emphasis on romance, having romantic relationships with different characters, and not just romantic relationships, but also friendships. It also focuses on the friendships of the characters in the video game. It has drama. There's a lot of sad things that go on in Mass Effect. There's a lot of action. It's an adventure. It's just a really, really just epic story. And yeah, I mean, I feel like Mass Effect there would be so many episodes because there's just so much to talk about in Mass Effect. I mean, they could focus on the storyline in Mass Effect Andromeda. They could focus on how the crew of the Normandy are settling down in the Andromeda galaxy. Maybe they can also focus on, how they're going to explore other territories in the Andromeda galaxy. Maybe they can do that. Or maybe they can focus on the storyline of Commander Shepard. And the thing is, Commander Shepard, right? Like, in the video games, Commander Shepard, you customize Commander Shepard. So Commander Shepard can either be a man or a woman. And of course, any race that you want Commander Shepard to be. My Commander Shepard was a beautiful Black woman and her first name, what did I call her? Oh, what was her name? Brandy Shepard. That is my Commander Shepard, how I customize her. She's a badass, beautiful Black girl. So yes, you can customize your Commander Shepard however you want. So in the TV show, maybe they shouldn't focus on Commander Shepard as the main character because, again, Commander Shepard can be interpreted in so many ways. But maybe they can focus on like a crew member of the Normandy. So maybe they can focus on either one of the main characters, like, I don't know, Joker or Liara or Garrus, you know what I mean? Just one of the crew members. Or they can just get a completely new, different character. So maybe what they can do is they can just get a crew member who is part of the Normandy. And maybe the person isn't even like doesn't have like a very high position. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, a janitor or or a cook, just someone, or maybe like a lower ranked officer, and just kind of show the adventures of the Normandy, you know, through their perspective, you know, or maybe you can talk about like a character and how they kind of rise in the ranks. And you never see Commander Shepard, you know what I mean? Because again, Commander Shepard can be interpreted in so many ways, but you keep hearing about Commander Shepard. He's like, oh yeah, Commander Shepard is currently on a mission in this place. Oh yeah, Commander Shepard is here, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe in an episode, you can see Commander Shepard, but maybe like Commander Shepard, you can just see like Commander Shepard's back, you know what I mean? Or just something like that. You can make Commander Shepard like really mysterious, you know what I mean? So I just feel like there are different ways that there can just be so much potential for story and Mass Effect is a TV series. And of course, like I said, there's a lot of romance in Mass Effect Andromeda, all the Mass Effect games. Romance is a huge part, which is one of the reasons I like the game. Because, you know, I like how you can, you know, the characters can end up knowing each other and falling in love. I think that's very cute. So yeah, definitely the TV series, maybe also focusing on the relationships in with the crew members. I think that would be interesting as well. And yes, another video game that would make a great TV series. So Resident Evil, I know they made a TV series on Netflix, and I heard that wasn't very great. Yeah, but I feel like Resident Evil would be a great TV series if they made it CGI. Yeah, I think if they made it like a CGI animated series. And I mean, there are just so many characters in the Resident Evil series, right? And there are a lot of characters too that we still don't know what the heck happened to them. Like for instance, Billy, there hasn't really been an update on Billy Cohen. There hasn't been an update on, I'm trying to think, Carlos really. Sheva from Resident Evil 5, what happened to her? You know what I mean? So I feel that maybe they can make a TV series kind of focusing, you know, tying up loose ends on characters that, you know, they haven't really finished their storyline. I feel like they've already talked a lot about, I feel like they've made, at this point, we already know the origins of Resident Evil. You know what I mean? With the mansion incident and then the outbreak in Raccoon City. I mean, at this point, I don't feel like it should be talked about again in a TV series. Maybe you can just make like one episode about it. But at this point, even if you're not a gamer and haven't played Resident Evil, you can Google what happened. We don't need to rehash it, okay? But yeah, I feel that they can either focus on the main characters, Chris, Jill, Leon, Ada, Claire, Barry, and see what they're doing these days, how they're still trying to fight bioterrorism. Or again, they can focus on characters that haven't really had any updates, like Billy or Rebecca and Sheva. Yeah, and I think it should be CGI. Yeah, I just think it would be, I don't know. I just prefer CGI when it comes to like Resident Evil. I don't know why. Like I think the live action movies were pretty terrible, except the first Resident Evil. Like the first Resident Evil was amazing. The one with Michelle Rodriguez, yeah, that was amazing. And then after that, I feel that the movies just kind of went down the toilet. But yeah, just make it CGI, and then yeah, I think it would be good. And then what else? Yes, and then the third video game that I think would make a great TV series is Left 4 Dead. So Left 4 Dead, they definitely, I really, really wish that they would make a Left 4 Dead part 3. They've only made a part 1 and part 2. And yeah, they really need to make a part 3. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, they can make it into a TV series. So, you know, Left 4 Dead is, you know, a zombie outbreak that happened. You play as these, it's a really fun game because you can choose different characters to play and shoot through these zombies. You know, in the first game, who are the characters? I forget the characters. Francis. I forget the characters in part 1, but part 2, it was Rochelle, Ellis, what was his name? Nick, and Coach. There we go. Yes, those are the characters. So you can choose between those 4 characters, and then, you know, just kind of like use these different weapons, and make your way through town, trying to escape. So basically every mission. You were just basically trying to escape from the zombies. And and the thing with Left 4 Dead that was so cool was that there were just different types of zombies, you know what I mean? And different zombies with their different abilities and different strengths. One of the strongest zombies was the witch. Man, the witch was terrifying because the witch would like trick people, like she would be crying, and then you would think that it was like a woman who was in danger, and then when you go up to her, she just goes crazy, and then tries to kill you and stuff like that. So that is the witch. So yeah, so I think that Left 4 Dead would be a great TV series because, again, like it would just focus on like the survivors trying to escape, and also Left 4 Dead, like it was funny. Like there's definitely the characters definitely had a lot of funny dialogue within themselves. Like Ellis was pretty funny. Yeah, so I think it would include like there should definitely be like some comedy in it as well. And yeah, I think it would be, and also just seeing like the different zombies in the TV show, I think that would be really, really interesting. So yeah, so those are the free video games that I think would translate well into TV series. Mass Effect, Left 4 Dead, and Resident Evil. And again, Left 4 Dead, you guys, please, you need to make a Left 4 Dead free. Come on, it's been years since there's been a Left 4 Dead video game. But anyway, but if you're not gonna make a video game, hopefully Left 4 Dead can be a TV series. So at least we have some Left 4 Dead content. But yes, so that's my video. Are there any other video games that you think should become TV series? Let me know in the comments below. And if you watched to the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And thanks for watching. Bye.